Hey there one, Spazzy Dragon here, aka Syndromes. It's a Monday. It's a Monday during the workday, but something fucked up with our email system, so I'm kinda not distracted, so I thought I would make a small video while I wait for it to recover. Anyway, this is a certain topic that I kind of wanted to bring up for quite a long while actually, but I didn't think it was that necessary. That is until I started trying to get a little bunch of my other friends into Discovery Freelancer, some of which have indeed played the original Freelancer, and it was kind of interesting to observe their overall sort of reaction to the mod and how it progresses and everything else. And I kind of observed that, and so this video is going to be about a certain little issue that has popped up, and something that I actually noticed quite a bit back, but I didn't really think that it was such a big issue that it needed to be pointed out at that time. So let's talk about content starvation, which is actually a really interesting thing considering this is a mod and this is all about adding new content to the existing gameplay. We have that a lot. We have new commodities, we have ships, we have player-owned bases and commodities and items such as cloaks and armor upgrades and so far. All of that is really cool, and all of that is really effective of drawing new players in, but there is a certain little aspect of it that we kind of seem to miss for some reason. Anyway, when you create a new player, when you create a new character, especially if you are a player who has indeed played the old Freelancer and maybe even played the multiplayer for quite a while, and now you come to Disco, you will start off on a completely unknown planet, and once you click the undock key, you are going to be thrown into a system that is unlike anything you have ever seen in vanilla Freelancer. And that's a good thing. That is the first impression that you need to see, that you undock and this is this huge, completely unfamiliar place. This is a this is a mod. This is about Freelancer in the future. We like to think about Discovery as Freelancer number 2. That as a DLC or as I don't know, expansion pack or what the fuck you want to call it these days. And this system is actually very thought out when you think about it, because it has pretty much everything that a new player needs to see. For example, you have this little mining area behind Planet Area. You have all sorts of factions flying around. You have the lawfuls like Liberty Navy, Liberty Police flying around. You also have rogues in the field. At the same time, over there you have the Zoner Freeport sort of thing, and over there you have the Junkers. So everything here is present, and everything here is really nice and new, and this is really good for a player because they can see that, this mod is not just about modifying the existing vanilla game anymore. This is about bringing new types of content to the game. Obviously, as a new player, you are not yet at the level that you experience the so-called high-level content like capital ships and cloak devices and jump drives and all that good stuff. So, first impressions are always important because the things that we have added to the game over time aren't really the items that new players are going to have off the bat. And if you have a player joining Discovery Freelancer, and if they have been playing on a vanilla server for quite a while, then you need to hook them. Otherwise, they will look around. If they don't see anything too out of place, maybe anything too interesting that would justify them having to start over again, they might decide that, well, on the vanilla server, I have achieved this and that, and I have made a lot of progress. So considering this is more the same, then why should I, put effort into something that I've already have? So, again, making content for new players to see and enjoy is also a big part of what I would say is one of the goals for Freelancer, for the mod itself, for Discovery Freelancer. And this is where the problem about content starvation persists, because this is something that I've noticed specifically in this area. So again, Pennsylvania does everything that you need to expect from a newbie system. It introduces players to the overall, gameplay. They see that new things are added, new planets over here or there, um, all of that good stuff. But then it comes to leaving this system, and for most players, for those new players who don't want to explore all of that system on their own, I mean, of course, there's jump holes over here and over here, and that's everything nice and dandy. So the jump gate to New York is going to be the first thing that we'll see, and this is where the problem lies. So again, we're going to take this jump gate so I can illustrate what exactly is happening. So imagine you're a new player and you have seen Discovery up until this point. You've gotten some mining done in the helium field, and everything is potentially cool and everything. And then you jump into New York and you find yourself in the Badlands of all places, which is, if you've played the original Freelancer, this place is really familiar because this is where one of the first missions take place and everything. And it's like, oh, this is nice and familiar. That's a good thing. Familiarity is, again, a really good thing. This is why many of us tend to stick to specific factions, because they're familiar and we just feel comfortable with it. But that sadly goes up to a certain degree. The moment we get up to here, the player, after seeing all of that new stuff in Pennsylvania, they're let loose in, well, pretty much what is and always was New York. Nothing has changed. We would like to say that, Freelancer 2, it's like, hey, this is the future of, after the Nomad War. But at a first glance, nothing has changed. And believe me, I wouldn't have thought this was a big thing until a friend of mine actually pointed this out. That said, yeah, dude, the starting system, beautiful. Love the lighting effects and everything. It's like cool. It's like a field and lots of stations and everything. It's cool. And then the guy jumped to New York and he was like, well, this seems really familiar. It's like, only 2 days ago I was flying the same thing on Hamburg. It's like, yeah, nothing has changed over here. The fields are still there, the planets are there, like the sun is everywhere, everything's the same. This is just a jump back. Like, the only changes that we actually have in New York is Trenton Outpost being moved from here to here, and the model being changed a little bit, and one of the few player-owned bases around. Everything else is the same. New York Station is still there, Detroit Munitions is there, behind Planet Manhattan there's Rochester Outpost, all of the gates are still there, everything is the same. And this is something that I really wanted to talk about. This is called content starvation. And this is really bad, especially for this system. This is the second system new players are going to find themselves in. And maybe this is not that much of an issue for players who have never played Freelancer before and they just wanted to say they're stoked for, I don't know, Star Citizen or something, and they decided to look back at that game that Rob or whatever has taken part in before, and they just, they never played the original Freelancer. They just want to have a much more fulfilling multiplayer experience, so they instantly go for Discovery Freelancer. They wouldn't know, but compared to Pennsylvania, for a player who has played Freelancer, they join in as, well, Pennsylvania is cool. It's like, it's something new. That's something you expect from a mod. But the moment they get to New York, well, this is the same old Freelancer. This doesn't even feel like a mod. There's nothing else here. So, I suppose it's actually very simple. We focus on new things, and we want to, the mod's name is Discovery. If you want to find the cool little new features, you need to go out and explore. But not adding anything new, not adding any changes to the original locations, in my opinion, is just plain wrong from a, purely, aesthetic reason. Especially if this is a place where all of the new players start. People need something to keep themselves going. People were hooked by seeing that, oh well, this thing brings a lot of new things, like hello, Pennsylvania, hello, and again, they just moved to New York and, well, this is Freelancer. This, nothing really has changed. And again, I mean, Discovery Freelancer is not a total conversion mod. I mean, you wouldn't expect anything else but Freelancer. But for a mod that strives to advertise itself as new systems, new ships, new possibilities, and roleplay, where is it? That's the thing that the players are going to say. And nothing really has changed even after these systems. You go to Texas, it's the same old Texas. You want to go to Colorado, it's like, well, that's the same Colorado, just that the field doesn't work. Guys, I realize that devs are always going to try to keep people a little bit away from Liberty these days, because Liberty, for years upon years, Liberty used to be the main activity hub, and it would starve all of the other locations. And over time, we have developed this chronic fear of adding anything new to Liberty. For example, be it trade routes or mining zones, or again, any sort of content in the form of new stations or any kind of redecoration. I'm just amazed that it really has been a thing for so much long. Like, look at Detroit Debris Field. It could have been already, the Junkers might have moved their installation over here or something. Same about that field. Things do change over time, and it's been, what, like 20 years now? I'm not exactly sure. But, I mean, in-game wise, it's been 20 years. I'm not sure. I'm not completely sure how many years it has been. But you get the point. Discovery actually brings a lot of new things, and I mean, Galley is something that we created just straight off the bat. It's a completely new house. It's just populated with completely new systems. But I really think that kind of abandoning the old ones and not adding anything to them might be working in our disfavor, especially when you have to sort of impress new players. First impressions are always a really good thing, especially when you are talking about bringing a new player to a game. But as it stands right now, we might want to work on it a little bit, because again, we do not have a actual, we kind of need to use these systems as a tutorial and introduce players to features of the game one by one. So that's just something to keep in mind. Well, anyway, this was Spazzy Dragon aka Syndromes. Hopefully this topic might get you thinking a little bit, and maybe you could go to the forums and actually suggest your changes to these systems to make them a little bit more appealing to the players while keeping them, as close to the original as possible within reason. So, again, have fun.